Hello everyone, we have finished pattern making for this tiered midi skirt in the last video. In today's video, we are going to share the cutting and sewing part. This is a pattern we've done in the last video. We will use the pattern with seam allowance for cutting the fabric. Here list the steps of cutting and sewing, and we will follow the steps to make this skirt. Step 1. Cut the fabric. Firstly, we fold the fabric. The right side of fabric is face to face and the wrong side of the fabric is up. Put the pattern on the fabric. Match the center front line of the pattern to the folded edge of the fabric. Now we already put all the patterns on the fabric. Before cutting, make sure the two layers fabric is lined up. Use tailor's chalk or washable marker to trace down the outline of the pattern on the fabric. We cut the front pieces first, so mark 1F for front piece of tier 1, 2F for front piece of tier 2, 3F for front piece of tier 3. In order to sew in very correctly, we also can trace down the outline of the pattern without seam allowance. This line is the seam for sewing. You may easily sew along the seam. We cut off all the front pieces along the outline. Now we have already cut off the front pieces of 1F, 2F, 3F, and the waistband. The same method for cutting off the back pieces. Mark 1B for back piece of tier 1, 2B for back piece of tier 2, 3B for back piece of tier 3. After cutting all the pieces, we go for step 2, overlock and make a gathering. First, we overlock the 1F, 1B, and waistband pieces, and then make a gathering for pieces of 2F, 3F, 2B, and 3B. We need to sew the pieces 1F and 2F together, so make a gathering on the piece 2F. There's a gathering function on the overlock machine. Adjust the pointer from 1 to 2. The 1 is for the flat overlock, it's a regular overlock. 2 is for the gathering and the overlock. Now we overlock the front piece 2F. Match the piece 2F to 1F. It looks very good. So we continue overlocking the rest front piece 3F and the back pieces 2B and 3B. After the overlock and the gathering, we go for step 3, sewing tier 1, 2, 3 together. Now ready to sew the pieces 2F to 1F. Before that, check the right side of the fabric and also make sure to sew the right two pieces. To ensure the two layers of fabric are aligned during sewing, we may pin the two pieces together before sewing. Okay, now sewing the pieces 1F and 2F together. After that, we sew the pieces 3F to 2F. We already make a gathering on piece 3F, so the same way, pin the two layers of fabric together and then sew it. Until now, we have done with the front pieces of this skirt. So the same way, we sew the pieces 1B, 2B, and 3B together to finish the back pieces. Next is step 4, sewing one of the side seam. Line the front piece and the back piece match the two side seams of the front piece and back piece. Pin the lined side seams together. And then sew the side seam. Okay, now we move to step 5, putting the waistband on. Line the waistband to the waistline of the skirt. The right side of fabric of waistband face to the right side of fabric of the skirt. So after line up the waistline, pin the two pieces together and then sew the waistline seam. After that, we can go to step 6, sewing another side seam. The same method, line up the side seam of the front and back pieces, pin together, and then sew the side seam. Next is step 7, putting the elastic in the waistband. First, we need to figure out how long the elastic should be. It depends on the elasticity of the elastic band you use. Here, the elastic length is 26 minus 4 inch equal to 22 inch. Sew the two end points of elastic band together to make it as a circle. Put the elastic band into the waistband. Fold the waistband down to cover the elastic band completely, and also cover the waistline seam. After that, pin the waistband to the skirt piece, and then we sew them up. Until now the skirt is almost done, we continue to step 9, folding up the hem and the top stitch. Fold the hem up along the chalk line and then iron it to ensure it's stable when you sew it. Sew a top stitch on the hem. Okay, now we are done with the entire skirt. Let's try it on the dress form. If you wanted to make it more special, you can design it with ribbon, lace, embroidery, or other decorative designs.